Hello everyone, it's Amy Fig and welcome into my studio. Today I want to show you two things. Number one, how I make paper dolls with Book of Magic digital kits. And number two, how I use my magical powers, aka intentions, to send love and blessings with these paper dolls. If that sounds interesting to you, then let's go ahead and jump right into it. I'm using this face image from the Sacred Feminine Volume 2 digital kit in the Etsy shop. The link will be in the description. And I'm giving it an even coat underneath and on top with matte Mod Podge. And I thought it might look cool to create a halo or maybe even a witch hat around it. So I found something that I could trace around and give me a circle. And now I am creating some shoulders. And I had this vision of making like a cocoon body that I will eventually wrap something around. So that's why I chose this shape. And now I'm just looking through some of my scrap papers to create a base color for the body. And I like this dark one. It's probably going to get mostly covered up, but just the process of layering is very soothing to me, and I can start to think about the intentions that I'm putting into this piece. And to be honest, right now I don't know exactly why I'm making this. I kind of just started the process and I'm letting the doll kind of tell a story for me and allowing what needs to come up within me to come up as far as feelings and thoughts. So I'm going to start gluing all of these down. And I really love my tabletop. Jason made me this table from pieces of his parents' old fence, and it's just so gorgeous, and I try my best to not get any paint or glue on it. So I'm putting this piece of printer paper here so that I can work on top of it. And then I always have this big towel right next to me so I can wipe my fingers off, but I still get all of this dried glue bits on my fingertips anyway. It's just part of the process, I guess. Smoothing this down with the towel. And then the best way to trim this is to flip it over so I can see what's happening. And I'm just going to trim around the edges. And I'm working on cardstock. I don't think I mentioned that. So my base is cardstock, but you could also use watercolor paper or Bristol paper would be good. This is just an old image that I printed out probably years ago. Something that I liked online and I printed it out. And I really like the flowers here. So I'm thinking that I'm just gonna make a little cluster of colors that I like. Lines, I like these white lines against that black. So I'm just choosing things that feel nice to me. I still don't really know where I'm going with this. But I know that I want to add fabric and this very kind of thin lace material that is from a thrifted blouse. I really like that. I love the color of green it is. So I laid everything out first before I glued down, and I think that's important. Now I'm just putting a thin layer of the glue on everything, and this tool that I'm using is really beneficial. I just recently got it. It's like a silicone tip on it so that I don't ruin my brushes. I'll make sure to leave the info on that in the description as well. So what happens here is that halfway through making this, I get a phone call from a loved one, and I start to think, oh, I want to send that loved one some encouragement and some love and some strength. And so that started pouring into this art piece. And then I thought, oh, these are like prayer dolls, or they can be if we want them to, in that the way that I like to pray now is I envision the person that I'm praying for at their in their best light, or how whatever I want for them is how I imagine them in my mind, like it's already happened, like they're already good and they've already gotten through whatever problem they're trying to solve. So I decided to focus my energy on that, and I started to think about the words that I would tell this person and how I would send them strength. And so I started writing, and what I came up with was, you are strong enough. And I really believe this about this person who was having a hard time, but I know in my heart that they're strong enough to get through anything. And so that's what I put every bit of my intention into this piece. And then I got so caught up in it that there were some parts that I forgot to film. But right now what you're seeing is some tissue paper and a hummingbird image, which is also in the Sacred Feminine Volume 2 kit. There's hummingbirds and lots of women's faces in that one. And so these, and then the oak leaf at the bottom is symbolizing strength for me. And the tissue paper was actually from a gift that the person that I'm making this for sent me. So, and I really love kind of this fogginess that it brings, a texture or layer to the doll. I really love how it looks. So I'm adding these on, and they kind of look like sleeves. So I'm trimming them up to look like sleeves pretty soon. And then the hummingbird, I wanted to symbolize peace of mind and focusing on joy and things that are good and things that make you happy. So I'm putting that here on the head. And then here's where I'm trimming these up. And then my thought was to write to this person that I'm sending love to. I'm going to write to them on the back of this. Next, to add another layer of intention, another layer of energy. So I'm writing a message to them. And then I was thinking, like, if I wrapped it up with a piece of fabric and I put the leaf inside. This is part where I forgot to film because I got too into it. So I just wrapped some material around it, and inside there I put the leaf, the oak leaf that I had laminated with packing tape is just inside. But I could also add some more things in there if I want. Some more symbols of strength or whatever else I want to send. And now I'm making this, what we refer to as belly bands. I'm making a belly band for this page. That's what it's referred to as in the journal community. And so this is just glued on the edges, and so the doll can just fit right in there nicely, snugly. Just want to mention that I used a safety pin to fasten this fabric around the doll. It was really fun to mix fabric in with these this time. I've created this space to keep it in my journal, but I could also mail it to this person that I care about. I'm sure that they would love that, so that's probably what I'm gonna do. Here's a couple more dolls using Book of Magick digital images with the fabrics and meaningful messages. This one is for someone who doesn't feel heard. If you enjoyed this content, please consider subscribing and liking the video. My Etsy digitals are 25% off right now until September 30th, so go grab some of those if you are interested. And there will be new images coming in October, so stay tuned for that. And I will see you next week with something truly magical. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.